Alright, hello and welcome to this little tutorial series on how to make a custom chart for Aurora. I'm assuming that you're a new player or charter and you've been to the levels section and clicked on create and were immediately hit with like way too many things to upload at the same time to make a proper level. So I'm going to guide you through all the necessary steps that you need to do to actually have a proper song that's working as intended. And the first step doesn't actually begin on the server. Instead, what you're going to have to do is to get a song file, of course, but you will also likely have to cut it. So for that reason, you're going to download Audacity and you're just going to open it and drop the song file in there for a start. The first thing, once the song is loaded into Audacity, is to actually set the BPM of it correctly. You will notice that Audacity just keeps the previous tempo of whatever song you've been working on in there. So the song, it's definitely not a 130 tempo. So instead, you want to either look up the BPM of the song in Google, which is definitely possible for most popular songs. But if that isn't really an option, you can always just use this website over here, which lets you tap along to the beat and it'll just give you an average BPM. That's obviously useful because you're already planning to chart the song, so you may as well understand how the beat of it works. So what you're going to do in this case is to just go to Audacity and have the song play for a while you're tapping along to it. So like this. So I'm going to cut this part short because I already know that the BPM of it is 96, but if you're unsure, I would always recommend to at least do like 100 or so timing taps just to get like a pretty good average going on. But yeah, in this case it's 96, I already know that, so I'm going to go back to Audacity and just type in 96 down in the left area. And the first thing that Audacity always does with us is that it stretches the audio file based on the tempo change. So you want to click on this symbol in the top right of the clip and just replace the clip speed with 100% to reset that. And now the song file has the correct BPM assigned to it, but it's not aligned yet. So if you turn on snap, it will just not snap to like any point that's actually a proper beat in the song. I would also recommend to always use a fourth instead of like bars or eighths. Sometimes you want to use eighths. I don't actually use bars and seconds, but fourths and eighths are usually the best, but fourths are your beats. So you want to turn off snap again just to zoom in and find like a spot that you want to use as a basis of where your beat is located. So for example, the drums are usually the safest bet. So we're going to use this drum over here, and just based on the waveform, you can kind of like assume that it's likely around here where you want to place your beat. So you're just going to right click on here and split the clip, and then you want to turn snapping back on, because what you're doing next is you're zooming out and you'll just drag the left clip like this and align the right clip like this. And what you also want to do is just move the whole thing further to the left to just eliminate as much silence as you can. So this is too much, you're already cutting into the song, but this is fine. So you're going to just move that over there and your song is perfectly aligned. So you're going to join these clips. And after this, the second question becomes, is the song too long? People on the server and in mobile rhythm games in general, they don't really like playing songs that are longer than 3 minutes. That's usually like already stepping into stamina chart territory. So, in case you want to also cut the song to be shorter, a pretty decent recommendation with a song like this, where you have a verse here, you have a verse here, and you have like three different choruses. So in case of that, personally, I would recommend cutting from the first chorus to the second chorus beginning. So you're basically removing one chorus and one verse of the song in order to make it shorter. You already have two verses and you have like three choruses, so having one of each removed is perfectly fine. So you're going to find where the first chorus begins, which is around here. And then you're going to find where the second chorus begins. So this is here. And now you're just going to select this area and just remove it straight up. The verse in the middle of it is going to go along with it. So now you're ending up basically with the first verse transitioning into the second chorus, and then it's just the bridge and the third chorus. And the song is way shorter that way, but it also includes like the most unique parts of the whole arrangement. So yeah, sometimes it's obviously more complicated because the transitions to the choruses and the verses is more complex, and you can't really cut it cleanly. In those cases, you basically have to figure that out on a case-by-case basis. But most songs hopefully are pretty easy in that regard. So you can just straight up find a point in one of the choruses that is exactly the same in the other chorus, and then you just cut from that point to the other point, and you're pretty much done with cutting. In any case, now our song has been cut to roughly 2 minutes and a little bit of pocket change, which is perfectly reasonable. And the second step that you want to do after that is to go and have a preview of the chorus. Usually, the chorus is usually the most striking part of the song, so you're just going to select an area that encompasses the chorus and just copy it. And then you create a new stereo track and paste it in there. Now you want to mute the main clip and just go back to this part where the chorus actually begins. So this is the part. So you want to drag this clip to shorten it all the way over here, and now you want to do the same thing on the end. So this is where the bridge begins. So you want to go and drag this over here, and now it perfectly loops, or at least for all intents and purposes, in terms of rhythm at least, which is nice. Sometimes you cannot get a proper loop going, but that doesn't really matter anyways, because you're going to also include fading. You don't want to hit the player with like a max volume preview at the very like first moment of the preview playing, and you also want to fade it out at the end. So you're going to fade that out, and now it's going to be a lot smoother, like this. So we're just going to move the preview clip all the way to the 0 line. And now we're exporting the audio. So personally, I prefer to have a separate preview folder to just have everything separately in a main folder, where I have like the whole songs in there, and a preview folder where the 30-second clips are in there. As for exporting, you want to use constant bitrate at 128 kilobits per second. You don't really need more quality for that. It's not like anyone will be able to tell, and you also don't want to make people download extremely large music files anyways. So we're exporting the preview, right? It already exists, but we're replacing it, and we're going to do the same thing with the main file. So this is going into the main folder. It already exists. And now we have our two song files prepared for charting. So that's this part of the tutorial.